Alright, and shalom. Welcome to Cover with Jeremy Pyers. So, today we're going to be doing the last part of the book of Daniel. So, I think the second half is going to get in a lot more juicier stuff. You know, the first half pretty much described the coming of Messiah and how he's going to destroy, crumble that statue of nations there, meaning destroy the nations and come to rule. Anyways, welcome Alyssa, shalom, welcome everybody. Is catching this later, not live, that's cool. Welcome, I welcome everybody. Disconnecting. Apologies. Having some connection issues again. Never ends. Alright, let's see. Okay. Alright, hopefully it's fixed. Can everybody hear me okay now? I don't know why every time this happens I get this low frame rate. It'll be all green, ready to go, and then I go live and it's like bam. Very weird. Okay, here, let me start. I'll start over again here. Alright. To set over the kingdom 120 princes, and over these 3 presidents, of whom Daniel was first, that the princes might give accounts unto them, and the king should have no damage. Then this Daniel was preferred above the presidents and princes, because an excellent ruach was in him, and the king thought to set him over the whole realm. Then the presidents and princes sought to find the occasion against Daniel concerning the kingdom, but they could find no occasion nor fault. For as much as he was faithful, neither was there any error or fault found in him. So, this is how we should all strive to be, brothers and sisters. I'm not saying we can be exactly like that, found without fault in us. We shouldn't be lying and cheating our employers or employees, whoever, our neighbors. Then said these men, excuse me, we shall not find any occasion against this Daniel, except we find it against him conquering the Torah of his Elohai. Then these presidents and princes assembled together to the king, and said thus unto him, King Daravish, live forever. All the presidents of the kingdom, the governors, and the princes, the counselors, and the captains, have consulted together to establish a royal statute, and to make a firm decree, that whosoever shall ask a petition of any Elohai or man for 30 days, save of you, O king, he shall be cast into the den of lions. See, they're already plotting and scheming. That's what people like to do, plot and scheme. It's sad. And now, O king, establish the decree, and sign the writing, that it be not changed according to the law of the Medai and the Persians, which alters not. Wherefore, King Daravish, sign the writing and the decree. Excuse me. Now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house, and his windows being opened in his chamber toward Jerusalem, he kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day, and prayed, and gave thanks before his Elohai, as he did aforetime. Then these men assembled, and found Daniel praying, and making supplication before his Elohai. Then they came near, and spoke before the king. Have ye not signed a decree, that every man shall ask a petition of any Elohai or man within 30 days, save of you, O king, shall be cast into the den of the lions? The king answered and said, The thing is true, according to the law of the Medai and the Persians, which alters not. Then answered they, and said before the king, that Daniel, which is of the children of the captivity of Yehuda, regards not you, O king, nor the decree that you have signed, but makes his petition 3 times a day, was sore displeased with himself, and set his heart on Daniel to deliver him. Then these men assembled unto the king, and said unto the king, Now, O king, that the law of the Medai and the Persians is, that no decree nor statute which the king establishes may be changed. Mob again. Okay. Alright, my apologies. I disconnected. I don't know where I left off. I'll just start here at 17. And a stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet, and with the signet of his princes, that the purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel. Then the king went into his palace, and passed the night fasting. Neither were instruments of music brought before him, and his sleep went from him. Then the king arose very early in the morning, and went in haste unto the den of lions. And when he came to the den, unto Daniel, and the king spoke and said to Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living Elohai, is your Elohai, who you serve continually, able to deliver you from the illusions, or from the lions? Then Daniel said unto the king, O king, live forever. My Elohai has sent his angel, and has shut the lions' mouths, that they have not hurt me. For as much as before him innocency was found in me, and also before you, O king, have I done no hurt. Then was the king exceedingly glad for him, and commanded that they. So Daniel was taken up out of the den, and because he believed in his Elohai. And the king commanded, and they brought those men which had accused Daniel, and they cast them into the den of lions, them, their children, their women, and the lions had the mastery of them, and broke all their bones in pieces before they came at the bottom. That's sad. Then King Darius wrote unto all the people, nations, and languages that dwell in all the earth, Peace be multiplied unto you. I make a decree, that in every dominion of my kingdom men tremble and fear before the Elohai of Daniel, for he is the living Elohai, and steadfast forever. And his kingdom, that which shall not be destroyed, and his dominion shall be even unto the end. He delivers and rescues, and he works signs and wonders in the heavens and in earth. Who has delivered Daniel from the power of the lions? So this Daniel prospered in the reign of Darius, and in the reign of Koresh. Alright, shalom, Savannah. Welcome, welcome. Alright, so 7. In the first year of oh, excuse me, hold on. Just kind of go over the last section there for a minute, The the people who accused Daniel and were laying a trap for him, basically, is what they were doing. They're the ones that ended up getting thrown into the lion's den, them and their families. So it's because the men are supposed to be the head of the household and protect their families. So everything that falls upon them falls upon their families, unfortunately. Yeah, it's a sad situation. But when you go against Yahweh, that's what happens. That's what's about to happen soon to these men who rule the earth. These accusers. Ooh, wouldn't want to be in their shoes, is all I'm saying. Alright, so we'll continue here on 7. Looks like my frame rate bumped up. That's good. Drinking lots of water, excuse me. Yes, absolutely, Alyssa. Going against Yahweh and his people is never a good idea. Alright, so here we go, 7. In the first year, excuse me, in the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babel, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Daniel spoke and said, I saw in my visions by night, and behold, the 4 winds, and the heavens strove upon the great sea. And 4 great beasts came up from the sea, diverse from one another. So pay attention, folks. The first was like a lion, and had an eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made to stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. And behold, another beast, second like a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. And they said thus unto it, Arise, devour much flesh. After this I beheld, and lo, another, like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and a dominion was given to it. So if you notice, they all have these dominions given over them on what they should do. And after this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and had great iron teeth. It devoured and broke in pieces, and stamped the remnant with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it. And it had 10 horns. And I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before who there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. And I beheld the thrones that were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head was like pure wool, and his throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. A fiery stream issued, and came forth from before him. 1,000 thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the Sepharim were opened. I beheld then, because of the voice of the great words which the horn spoke. I beheld eyes till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed, and given to the burning flame. As concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and a period of time. And I saw the night visions, and behold, like one of the Son of Man, came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion, and glory, and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. So we all know who this is. I hope so. This is Yahushua HaMashiach, our Messiah. Many people refer to him as Jesus. It's not his true name, but this is our Messiah, Yahushua. He's the one that delivers us from these beasts. And the great horn with the mouth speaking the great things. Guess what? That's the Antichrist that's coming. And all these ones that were given dominion, but their lives were prolonged for a time, these are the ones that are deceiving all of us right now. The Zionists, the Jesuits, all those in control. The bloodline families, the satanic bloodline families is what I refer to them as. That's the Illuminati. The Masons are just the ones not of this bloodline that kind of move up. The Illuminati are the bloodline, and they're the ones in control, the puppet masters. But their puppet master is Satan. They supersede everything over the world as we know it today. A lot of people don't see this. They control the media, the news, everything. You can see it. They're trying to control it on Facebook. They're trying to control it here on YouTube. I won't be surprised if my video gets flagged for saying what I did, but I don't care. I'm not afraid of these people. I won't bow a knee to them. Neither should you. We have nothing to fear from these people. We're going to read exactly how it ends for them, and it's not well. There's only one we need to bend our knee to, and it's Yahuwah. Anyway, my apologies, I ramble sometimes. Anyway, so here in 15 we'll continue. And I, Daniel, was grieved in my ruach, in the midst of my body, and the visions of my head troubled me. I came near unto one of them that stood by, and asked him the truth of all this. So he told me, and made me know the interpretation of the things. These great beasts, which are 4 kings, which shall arise out of the earth. But the Kodeshim of El Elyon shall take the kingdom, and possess the king, and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Then I would know the truth of the 4th beast, which was diverse from all the others, exceeding dreadful, whose teeth were of iron, and his nails of brass, which devoured and broke into pieces, and stamped the remnant with his feet. This is the ones who are going to refuse to take his mark. So he's thinking he's going to stamp them out. And the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes, and a mouth that spoke very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. I beheld, and the same horn made war with the Kodeshim, and prevailed against them, until the Ancient of Days came, and the judgment was given to the Kodeshim of El Elyon. And the time came that the Kodeshim possessed the kingdom. And thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all the kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and tread it down, and break it into pieces. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall arise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. And he shall speak great words against El Elyon, and shall wear out the Kodeshim of El Elyon, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a period of time, and times, and the dividing of time. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion, to consume and destroy it unto the end. And the kingdom of dominion, and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven, shall be given to the people of the Kodeshim of El Elyon, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom. And dominion shall serve and obey him. Hitherto is the end of the matter. As for me, Daniel, my cogitations much troubled me, and my countenance changed in me, but I kept the matter in my heart. So this beast with the 10 horns, guess who that is? This is the papacy, Rome, all them. He speaks great words against El Elyon. He thinks to change the times and the laws, and he wears out the Kodeshim of El Elyon. Why? Because of the changing of the times and the laws, and the hiding of all that. So the ones who know the truth, that's us brothers and sisters, are made to look foolish and ignorant. Yeah, the Jesuits. There's so much you guys can read in and look into this and study into, which I highly recommend. There are many studies about it. I'm just giving you kind of a quick go through. I don't want to put a lot of what I think into it, you know. I have. But anyways, you know, search this out, study it, check out all the different studies there are on it. There's a lot. That's all I'm going to say. But my heart, the papacy of Rome, who started Catholicism, which all these other Christian religions stemmed from, that's the beast. Now there's so many different Christian denominations, like, it's crazy and insane. And they all claim to be the only truth, the only way. Now guess what the only truth and way is? It's right here, written. His words. The entire scriptures, all of them. Not just the back of the book, not just the front of the book, all of it together. It's his word. Anyway. We'll continue here. You know, feel free to put in chat, you know, what you guys think as well. Yeah, Lynette, exactly, sister. The Jesuits. You there's the pink pope, the black pope, the white pope. There's all kinds of craziness and madness. I looked into a lot of it. Yeah, it'll blow your mind. Trust me. We'd go over it here, but we'd spend like hours on it. So anyway, we'll continue. Verse 8, or chapter 8, excuse me. In the 3rd year of the reign of King Belshazzar, a vision appeared unto me, even unto Daniel, after that which appeared unto me at the first. And I saw in a vision, and it came to pass, when I saw that I was at Shushan, in the palace, which is in the province of Eliam. And I saw in a vision that I was by the river of Ulai. Then I lifted up my eyes, and saw, and behold, there stood before the river a ram, which had 2 horns. And the 2 horns were high, but one was higher than the other, and the higher came up last. And I saw the ram pushing westward, and northward, and southward, so that no beast might stand before him, neither was there any that could deliver out of his hand. But he did according to his will, and became great. And as I was considering, behold, a he-goat came from the west on the face of the whole earth, and touched not the ground. And the goat had had a notable horn between his eyes. And he came to the ram that had 2 horns, which I had seen standing before the river, and ran unto him in the fury of his power. And I saw him come close unto the ram, and he was moved with choler against him, and smoteth the ram, and broketh his 2 horns. And there was no power in the ram to stand before him, but he cast him down to the ground, and he stamped upon him, and there was none that could deliver the ram out of his hand. Therefore the he-goat waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken, and for it came up 4 notable ones toward the 4 winds of heaven. And out of one of them came forth a little horn, which waxed exceedingly great towards the south, and towards the east, and towards the pleasant land. And it waxed great, even of the host of heaven. And it cast down some of the host, and of the stars to the ground, and stamped upon them. See, we're going to read about this later on in Revelation as well. Yea, he magnified himself, even to the prince of the host, and by him the daily sacrifice was taken away, and the place of his sanctuary was cast down, and a host was given him against the daily, by reason of transgression. And it cast down the truth to the ground, and it practiced and prospered. So, so this is the one. He is the accuser. We know who this is. This is the Hasatan. He is the accuser. He'll throw the truth to the ground and falsely accuse everybody. And he'll trap you, and he's had thousands of years to work on it. So he's good at it. And then I heard one Kodashai speaking, and another Kodashai say unto that certain Kodashai which spoke, How long shall it be the vision concerning the daily sacrifice, and the transgression of desolation, to give both the sanctuary and the host to be trodden underfoot? And he said unto me, Unto 2,300 mornings and evenings, then shall the sanctuary be cleansed. And it came to pass, when I, even I, Daniel, had seeneth the vision, and sought for the meaning, then behold, there stood, stood before me as the appearance of a man. And I heard a man's voice between the banks of Ulai, which called and said, Gabriel, make this man to understandeth the vision. So he came near where I stood, and when he came I was afraid, and fell upon my face. But he said unto me, Understand, O son of Adam, for at the time of the end shall be the vision. Now as he was speaking with me, I was in a deep sleep on my face toward the ground. But he touched me and set me upright. And he said, Behold, I will make you knoweth what shall be in the last end of the indignation. For at the time appointed the end shall be. The ram which you saw having 2 horns are the kings of Media and Persia. And the rough goat is the king of Yavin. And the great horn is that between his eyes, is the first king. And now that being broken, whereas 4 stood up for it, 4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in its power. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power, and he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper in practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without a hand. And the vision of the evening and the morning which was told is true. Wherefore, shut you up the vision, for it shall be for many days. And I, Daniel, fainted, and was sick certain days. Afterward I rose up, and dideth the king's business, and I was astonished at the vision, but none understood it. So he's talking about the end times here in this part, when the anti-Messiah arises. And if you look at all the news headlines today, Israeli News Live, all them, guess what? They're having meetings with their Messiah over there. So, it's coming soon. Something's coming soon. It's gonna be big. I've been feeling it ever since this COVID fake scamdemic started. I've just been feeling something much bigger is coming. This is only the beginning. They're releasing all that now once classified UFO documentation and blah blah blah. This is why biblical cosmology is important. If you believe we live in some infinite universe ever expanding, then yeah, you're going to believe that these guys are extraterrestrials in a sense that they come from other planets. They're extraterrestrial in a sense that they're demons. They don't come from other planets. They come from other planes in the spiritual realm. That is where they're from. So, yes, it is very important to understand. This is going to be a great deception that it's coming into play soon. You know, as I said, look into all this for yourself. Pray about it for yourself. I'm just here to show you where the path is leading. This is exactly the things that are going on right now. And this was written before Messiah. This is Daniel. And look, he's talking about Messiah, so... Anyway. I'll continue here. So, there's only 12 chapters in Daniel here, so we're almost finished. And in the first year of Daravesh, the son of Ashkenavash, the seed of the Madai, which was made king over the realm of the Kasdim. In the first year of his reign, I, Daniel, understood by Sepharim the number of the years, whereof the word of Yahweh came to Yirmiyahu the prophet, that he would accomplish 70 years in the desolation of Jerusalem. And I setteth my face unto El Yahweh Elohim, to seek by prayer and supplication with fasting, and sackcloth, and ashes. And I prayed unto Yahweh Elohim, and made my confession, and said, O Yahweh, the great and dreadful El, guarding the covenant and mercy to them that love him, and to them that guard his commandments. We have sinned, and we have committed iniquity, and have done wickedly, and have rebelled, even by departing from your precepts and from your judgments. Neither have we hearkened unto your servants the prophets, which spoke in your name to our kings, our princes, and our fathers, and to all the people of the land. O Yahweh, righteousness belongs unto you, but unto us confusion of faces, as at this day to the men of Yehudah, and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and unto all Yasharel that are near, and that are far off, through all the countries which you have driven them, because of their transgression that they have transgressed against you. O Yahweh, to us belong confusion of face, to our kings, to our princes, and to our fathers, because we have sinned against you. To Yahweh Eloheinu belong mercies and forgiveness, though we have rebelled against him. Neither have we obeyed the voice of Yahweh Eloheinu to walk in his Torah, in which he has set before us by his servants the prophets. Yea, all Yasharel have transgressed at your Torah, even by departing, that they may not obey your voice. So, those of you who don't know, sin is transgression of the Torah. Without the Torah, you can't have any sin. So guess what's going rampant today? All these people think the Torah is done away with, and they're just running around sinning. Thinking, oh yeah, the law was done away with on the cross. Nope. We've been reading since Genesis, since the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs, that they were keeping his Torah, since before it was given to Moses. We've already went over this, we've read it ourselves, so this is why it is important we keep his ways. They're not done away with. Anyway, I'll continue. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the Torah of Moshe, the servant of Elohim, because we have sinned against him, And he has confirmed his words, which he spoke against us, and against our judges that judge us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven has not been done, as has been done upon Jerusalem. And as it was written in the Torah of Moshe, hath all this evil is came upon us, yet made we not our prayer before Yahweh Eloheinu, that we might turn from our iniquities and understand your truth. Therefore has Yahweh watched upon the evil, and brought it upon us. For Yahweh Eloheinu is righteous in all his works which he does. For we obeyed not his voice, and now, O Yahweh Eloheinu, that has broughteth your people forth out of the land of Mitzrayim with a mighty hand, has gotten you renown, as at this day we have sinned, and we have done wickedly. O Yahweh, according to all your righteousness, I beseech you, let your anger and fury be turned away from your city, Jerusalem, your holy mountain, because for our sins and for the iniquities of our fathers, Jerusalem and your people are become a reproach to all that are about us. Now therefore, O Eloheinu, hear the prayer of your servant and his supplications, and cause your face to shine upon your sanctuary that is desolate. For Yahweh's sake, O Elohai, incline your ear and hear. Open your eyes and behold our desolations, and the city which is called by your name. For we do not present our supplications before you for our righteousness, but for your great mercies. O Yahweh, hear. O Yahweh, forgive. O Yahweh, hearken and do. Defer not for your own sake, O Elohai, for your city and your people are called by your name. So he's pleading with him, He's pleading forgiveness for all of Israel right here. Just check the chat here. Daniel 9 is about the 70th week of Daniel has already been fulfilled by Messiah. Yeah, exactly. The 7-year tribulation and all that, yeah. I've been learning a lot about this recently myself. Yeah, sure. Send me any study you'd like, Sister Lynette. Thank you. All right, let's. I'll get back to the reading here. And while I was speaking and praying, and confessing my sin and the sin of my people, Yasharel, and presenting my supplication before Yahweh Elohai, for the holy mountain of my Elohim. Yea, while I was speaking in prayer, even the man Gabriel, whom I had seen in the vision, at the beginning, being caused to fly swiftly, touched me about the time of the evening oblation. And he informed me and talked with me, and said, O Daniel, I am now come forth to give you skill and understanding. At the beginning of your supplication, the word came forth, and I am come to show you, for you are greatly beloved. Therefore, understand the matter, and consider the vision. 70 weeks are determined for the people and the holy city to finish the transgression, and to make an end of sins, and to make atonement for iniquity, and to bring everlasting righteousness, and seal up the vision and the prophet, and to anoint the Holy of Holies. Know and understand that from the going forth of the word to return and to build Jerusalem, until Mashiach the Prince is 7 weeks, and 62 weeks, returning to build the wide street of gold in times of distress. And after 62 weeks, Mashiach is cut off. But nothing of the holy city is ruined, and the people of the prince to come, the end of which is in a flood, and even to the end of the battle, devastation is determined. And the strength of the covenant multiplies for 1 week, and in the middle of the week the sacrifice and the oblation cease, and upon the end abominations destroy, until the consummation is determined and poured over the desolation. So yeah, this is just what you were talking about, sister. Alright. And so 10 here, in the 3rd year of Koresh, being of Persia, a thing was revealed unto Daniel, whose name was called Belshazzar. And the thing was true. But the time appointed was long, and he understoodeth the thing, and had an understanding of the vision. In those days I, Daniel, was mourning 3 full weeks. I ate no pleasant bread, neither came flesh nor wine in my mouth, nor did I anoint myself at all, till 3 whole weeks were fulfilled. And in the 4th and 20th day of the 1st month, as I was by the side of the great river, which is Sedekai, or Hidiel, excuse me for the bad mispronunciation there, Hiddekel, then I lifted up my eyes, and looked, and behold a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with a fine gold of Uphaz. His body was also like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass, and the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude. And I, Daniel, alone saw the vision. For the men that were with me saw not the vision, but a great quaking fell upon them, so that they fled to hide themselves. Therefore I was left alone, and saweth this great vision, and there remained no strength in me, for my comeliness was turned in me into corruption, and I retained no strength. Yet I heardeth the voice of his words. And when I heardeth the voice of his words, then I was in a deep sleep on my face, and my face toward the ground. And behold, a hand touched me, which set me upon my knees, and upon the palms of my hands. And he said unto me, O Daniel, a man greatly beloved, understand the words that I speak unto you, and stand upright, for unto you am I now sent. And when he had spoken these words unto me, I stood trembling. And then said he unto me, Fear not, Daniel, from the first day that you did set your heart unto to understand, and to chasten yourself before your Elohim, your words were heard, and I am come for your words. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days. But lo, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, and I remained there with the kings of Persia. Now I am come to make you understandeth what shall befall your people in the latter days, for yet the vision is for many days. So, so what they were saying here is basically he was fighting against the principality of Persia, which is the evil principality set over Persia at that time. Michael had to come and help him out. And then he stayed there to help. He stayed there with him. And now I am come to make you understandeth what shall befall your people in the latter days. For yet the vision is for many days. And when he had spoken such words unto me, I set my face towards the ground, and I became dumb. And behold, one like the similitude of the sons of men touched my lips. And then I opened my mouth and spoke, and said unto him that stood before me, O Adonai, by the vision my sorrows are turned upon me, and I have retained no strength. For how can the servant of this my Adonai talk with this my Adonai? As for me, straightway there remained no strength in me, neither is there breath left in me. Then there came again and touched me one like the appearance of a man, and he strengthened me, and said, O man greatly beloved, fear not, peace be unto you, be strong, yea, be strong. And when he had spoken unto me, I was strengthened, and said, Let my Adonai speak, for you have strengthened me. Then said he, Know wherefore I come unto you, and know, and now will I return to fight with the prince of Persia. And when I am gone forth, lo, the prince of Yavin shall come. But I will show you that which is noted in the scripture of the truth. And there is none that holds with me in these things but Michael, your prince. Also in the first year of Darivish the Medi, even I stood to confirm and to strengthen him. And now I will show you the truth. Behold, there shall stand up yet 3 kings in Persia. The fourth shall be far richer than they, and by his strength, through his riches, he shall stir up all against the realm of Yavin. And a mighty king shall stand up that rule with great dominion, and do according to his will. And when he shall stand up, his kingdom shall be broken, and he shall be divided towards the 4 winds of heaven, and not to his prosperity, nor according to his dominion which he ruled. For his kingdom shall be plucked up, even for others besides those. And Hamelech Hanagav shall be strong, and one of his princes, he shall be strong above him, and have dominion. His dominion shall be a great dominion. And in the end of years they shall join themselves together. For the daughter of Hamelech Hanagav shall come to Hamelech Hasaphon to make an agreement. But she shall not retain the power of the arm, Neither shall he stand, nor his arm, but she shall be given up, and they that brought her, and he that begat her, and he that strengthened her in these times. But out of a branch of her roots shall one stand up in his estate, which shall come with an army, and shall enter into the fortress of Hamelech Hasaphan, and shall deal against them, and shall prevail, and shall also carry captives into Mizraim, their Elohim, with their princes, and with their precious vessels of silver and of gold. And he shall continue more years than Hamelech Hasaphan. So Hamelech Hanegev shall come into his kingdom, and shall return into his own land. But his sons shall be stirred up, and shall assemble a multitude of great forces, and one shall certainly come, and overflow, and pass through. Then he shall return, and be stirred up, even to his fortress. And Hamelech Hanegev shall be moved with bitterness, and shall come forth and fight with him, even with Hamelech Hasaphan, and he shall set forth a great multitude, but the multitude shall be given into his hand. And when he has taken away the multitude, his heart shall be lifted up, and he shall cast down many 10,000s, but he shall not be strengthened by it. For Hamelech Hasaphan shall return, and shall set forth a multitude greater than the former, and shall certainly come after certain years with a great army and much riches. And in those times there shall many stand up against Hamelech Hanegev. So all the sons of the violent of your people shall exalt themselves to establish the vision, but they shall fall. So Hamelech Hasaphan shall come, and cast up a mount, and take the most fenced cities, and the arms of the Negev shall not withstand neither his chosen people, neither shall there be any strength to withstand. But he that comes against him shall do according to his own will, and none shall stand before him, and he shall stand in the glorious land, which by his hand shall be consumed. And he shall also set his face to enter with the strength of his whole kingdom, and upright ones with him. Thus shall he do. And he shall give him the daughter of women, corrupting her. She shall not stand on his side, neither be for him. And after this shall he turn his face unto the isles, and shall take many. But a prince for his own behalf shall cause the reproach offered by him to cease. Without his own reproach he shall cause it to turn upon him. Then he shall turn his face toward the ford of his own land, but he shall stumble and fall, and not be found. Then shall stand up in his estate a raiser of taxes in the glory of the kingdom. But within a few days he shall be destroyed, neither in anger nor in battle. In his estate shall stand up a vile person, to whom they shall not give the honor of the kingdom, but he shall come in peaceably, and obtain the kingdom by flatteries. And with the arms of a flood they shall be overflown from before him, and shall be broken, yea, also the prince of the covenant. And after the league made with him, he shall work deceitfully, for he shall come up, and shall become strong with a small people, and he shall enter peaceably, even upon the fattest places of the providence, and he shall do that which his fathers have not done, nor his fathers' fathers. He shall scatter among them the prey, and spoil, and riches. Yea, he shall forecast his devices against the strongholds, even for a time. And he shall stir up his power and his courage against Hamelech ha-Negev with a great army. And Hamelech ha-Negev shall be stirred up to battle with a very great and mighty army. But he shall not stand, for they shall forecast devices against him. Yea, they that feed off the portion of his meat shall destroy him, and his army shall overflow, and many shall fall down slain. And both these kings' hearts shall be to do mischief, and they shall speak lies at one table, but it shall not prosper. For yet the end shall be at the time appointed. Then shall he return into his land with great riches, and he shall be against the holy covenant, and he shall do exploits, and return to his own land. And at the time appointed he shall return, and come toward the Negev, but it shall not be as the former, or as the latter. So this one right here is it's a very interesting one. I know it's talking about the end times here, and I can honestly say I'm not 100% about this one. I'm sure a few of you brothers and sisters have studies on this. I'd love to see them. But this whole book of Daniel here is about the end times that we're living in. So please take this information and search it out. Do studies. Study to show yourself approved. It's sad how many don't study and they think they're approved. Really sad. Anyway, I'll try and speed it up here. It's been over hour and 10 minutes almost. So, alright. So for the ships of Kedem shall come against him, therefore he shall be grieved, and return, and have indignation against the holy covenant. So shall he do. He shall even return, and have intelligence with them that forsake the holy covenant. And arms shall stand on his part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength, and shall take away the daily lifting up. And they shall place the abomination of desolation. Now, I'm sure we all know what that is. And such as do wickedly against the covenant shall he corrupt by flatteries. But the people that do know their Elohim shall be strong. This is why it's important to read his words. And do exploits. And they that understand among the people shall instruct many. Yet they shall fall by the sword, and by flame, and by captivity, and by spoil, many days. Now when they shall fall, they shall be helped with a little help. But many shall cleave to them with flatteries, and some of them of understanding shall fall, to try them, and to purge, and to make them white, even to the time of the end, because it is yet for a time appointed. And the king shall do according to his will, and he shall exalt himself, and magnify himself above every El, and shall speak marvelous things against the El of Elohim. and shall prosper until the indignation be accomplished. For that is determined shall be done. Neither shall he regard the Elohai of his fathers, nor the desire of women, nor regard any Elohai, for he shall magnify himself above all. So we all know who this is. But in his estate shall he honor an Elohai of forces, and an Elohai whom his fathers knew not shall he honor with gold and silver, and with precious stones and pleasant things. See, the Elohai which his fathers knew not, I think that is talking about AI. Thus shall he do in the most strongholds, with a strange Elohai, who he shall acknowledge, and increase with glory, and he shall cause them to rule over many, and shall divide the land for gain. So I think this is that artificial AI, what is it, transhumanism agenda they have going on. Yeah. And at the time of the end shall Hamelech ha-Negev push with him, and Hamelech ha-Safan shall come over him like a whirlwind, with chariots and with horsemen, and with many ships. And he shall enter into the countries, and shall overflow and pass over. He shall enter also into the glorious land, and many countries shall be overthrown, but these shall escape out of his hand. Even Edom and Moab, and the chief of the children of Ammon. He shall stretch forth his hand also upon the countries, and the land of Mitzrayim shall not escape. But he shall have power over the treasures of gold and of silver, and over all the precious things of Mitzrayim. And the Libyans and the Cushim shall be at his step. But tidings out of the east and of the north shall trouble him. Therefore he shall go forth with great fury to destroy, and utterly to make away many. And he shall plant the tabernacles of his palace between the seas and the glorious holy mountain. Yet shall come to his end, and none shall help him. Yeah, pretty amazing. And at that time shall Michael stand up, and the great prince, which stands for the children of your people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was, since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time your people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the Sefer, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the expanse, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. But you, O Daniel, shut up the words, and seal the Sefer, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Now, this is happening right now. This is happening right now as we speak. Because the internet and everything you can search and look up now, like, you can do this all in the palm of your hand while snacking at work, basically. It's amazing. Amazing how much knowledge there is. And yet amazing how much idiocracy there is at the same time. Yeah, many will be blind. And then I, Daniel, looked, and behold, there stood other two, the one on his side of the bank of the river, and the other on that side of the bank of the river. And one said to the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, how long shall it be to the end of these wonders? And I heardeth the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, when he held up his right hand and his left hand unto heaven, and swore by him that lives forever, that it shall be for a time, times and a half. And when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished. And I heard, but I understood not. Then I said, O Adonai, what shall be the end of these things? And he said, Go your way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed till the end, the time of the end. Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. See, this is what I was just talking about. And from the time of the removal of the daily lifting up, and the giving of the abomination of desolation, there shall be 1,290 days. So I posted a video playlist earlier today on my Facebook. I highly recommend giving it a watch. It's about Zadok, Melchizedek, and how the moon was never followed. It's a 4-part series. I highly recommend it. He also breaks this down right here as well. He gives a nice breakdown of it. Like, I think it's amazing. I highly recommend it. I also saved it and added it to my playlists on my page as well, here on my YouTube channel. Anyway, blessed is he that waits and comes in to the 305 and 30 days. But go you your way till the end, for you shall rest, and stand in your lot at the end of the days. Alright. So that's Daniel there, Mishpaha. Pretty amazing. So yeah, the increasing of knowledge, I absolutely believe, is the internet. And before this big crackdown on going against the truth, which just started like a year or two ago, you could find so much more. And they make it so hard to find things now. Like, you can still find them, trust me, you can still find them. Just don't be using Google or anything like that. I personally use DuckDuckGo. It's one of my favorites. Hello, shalom, Melissa. Melvin P. Jones. I believe that's you, Melissa, right? Anyway, yes, it's pretty amazing read, Daniel. Like I said, I highly recommend you guys taking this study to Yahweh for yourselves and studying all these different visions out for yourselves. There's many studies that are done upon it, or that have been done about them. I don't recommend, mainstream churchianity studies about them, because they have no idea. They teach the rainbows and sunshine, Burger King doctrines. Have it your way. Like, no. It's Yahweh's way, not your way. If I'd love to go over and study Daniel even more, with anybody who's interested. It could be a live study, a personal study. Just, I know you want to, Alyssa. That's why I'm mentioning it. But especially that last vision, there's a lot to take in there. I get some of it, and some of it I don't. It's a lot to take in. So going over it with brothers and sisters would be amazing. Get everyone's opinions on it. That's why we're called to fellowship as well. Not one of us knows everything. Not one of us will ever know everything. Trust me. We can never stop learning on His Word. That's why we need each other. We can have a different view on this or that, whatever. As long as we believe in Yahushua HaMashiach and Yahuwah, our Elohim, we're brothers and sisters. So you can follow this calendar, I can follow that calendar. It shouldn't be a huge, debatable, controversial issue. That's all I'm saying. Like, these trivial issues should not even be discussed like they are. The other day, I quoted line by line from Scripture. I was talking to a family member, an actual family member. Quoted Scripture, line from line. A wise man accepts correction, and the foolish one, you know which one I'm talking about. Anyway, I quoted that line for line, and I got, that's retarded. I've never heard that. From someone who claims to study and be in His Word all day. But the thing is, they're blinded by men's teaching because they're trapped in Mormonism. The thing is, if your teachings, doctrines, writings, whatever it is that you're doing does not line up with Scripture, throw it away. Burn it. These false prophets and preachers were stoned back in the day. To say that's being a Nazi and wanting to stone anyone who has a different opinion, tell that to the Father when you see Him. You have a different opinion than His? He ain't gonna like that at all. I don't care if you're family, you're a friend. You go against Scripture, I'm going against you. Call me self-righteous, call whatever you like. I don't care. I read His Word. I go on His Word. I'm nobody. I'm a servant of His Word. To call me self-righteous and names, and then tell me not to judge because I know His Word and I read and study His Word, ridiculous, and is absolutely not of Yahuwah. It is with our actions and our words that we show who we are. We show our fruits. And then to say, oh, well, you quit judging me, you self-righteous, da-da-da-da. Like, come on, really? Like, you just made the biggest hypocritical statement of your life. And then telling me, well, that's my opinion on it. So me quoting directly from Scriptures is my opinion? No. That is your opinion on what His Scriptures are. I'm trying to lead you down there. Read it for yourself. Anyway, my apologies. This isn't against anybody. It's just, I was really fired up yesterday when a family member said these things to me. An actual blood family member. Ugh. Anyway, never mind. It's all good. My apologies. I go off sometimes. Once you need to follow His Word. If you don't listen to me and my warnings that I'm giving you to follow His Word, I do it in love. I don't do it because I hate you. I'm not judging you. I'm judging your godless organization you are a part of that follows the beast and worships on Sundays, has their own doctrines, has their own writings, has their own prophets that do not line up with Scripture. And you're going to tell me that way is right. Get that out of here. Throw that in the garbage. light it on fire, and your prophets should absolutely be stoned. Call it Nazism, I don't care. That is Yahuwah's way. Go against him, you're going to get worse than a stoning. Anyway, I get fired up sometimes. Anyway, so join me next week, Mishpaha. We're going to be diving into the book of Revelation, which is also going to, kind of expand a little bit more on the book of Daniel here, in the times that we're living in. A lot of people don't understand we're living in these times. They're all in it for the money, and money, which, that's fine, that's cool. Money is always good. But it is bad. It's good to have money, but it is also bad to have it. Like, if you're making plans to, money, and God's just kind of on the side burner over there, I'd switch up your plans, honestly. He'll give you everything you need. Trust me. He'll give you your money and everything. You just got to put him first. He tells us how to worship him, and the ways to worship him, and the days to worship him. It's all written 100%. From Genesis to Revelation, it is written down how he wants us to worship him. That's all you got to do is read it. Don't cherry pick verses. Don't take things out of context. Context is 100% key. Not only in scriptures, but in everything. Everything. Like, if people don't know, don't blow up and explode on them. I used to explode on people about the pronunciation of the names. Trust me, I still am going to pronounce Yahuwah and Yahusha. In all my studies, this is the pronunciations I have found. And have had second, third, fourth, many other witnesses. So, I did not know his name at all. I thought it was God and Jesus before I was awakened. So, sometimes we got to be patient with these people. Anyways, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. Survival makes money a necessity. Yeah, that's what they want you to think, exactly. Before there was money, they traded things. They traded goods and items. And guess what? They set up this monopolized system to control everybody into working these slave jobs for these fat cats and corporations that just sit back and make money off these poor people who are struggling to get by. And it's disgusting, and they're just full of greed. They're going to get there soon. We're going to read how it's going to end for them, especially if they don't repent and turn to his ways. Anyways, I'm rambling on. Forgive me. Join me next week for Revelation. I'm celebrating. I start Sukkot on Wednesday, and I go to the next Wednesday after that. So I was invited down to Tucson here for a Sukkot gathering. I may go for a few days. And, I'm kind of excited. I love celebrating the feasts. It's my second year doing them. Every year I learn more and more. It's awesome. It's amazing. Anyways, join me next week. Mishpaha, family, friends, all are welcome to join. All are welcome to add questions, comments, concerns, whatever. I'll be happy to answer your questions. Here, on Facebook, wherever. But thank you guys. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Alyssa. Thank you, Lynette. Thank you to all in the chat. Thank you to ones who are tuning in but are not actually logged into a YouTube account, so you're unable to chat. I know you guys are there and watching. I appreciate it. Join me next week. Thank you guys. Have a blessed week. Have a blessed, blessed Sukkot. Dwell in His words. And dwell in those temporary dwellings, Mishpaha. I wish you all the best. Thank you guys. Shalom.